And hello, folks. It is I, Kamikaze, here to bring you just an update on life and whatnot. Recently, some of you know I've been losing my mind. I've been doing my best to function to the best of my ability as I can. And some of you have wondered why I haven't been doing like the series and stuff that I've been planning on. And what ended up happening is I got into bots, which it started with that one Twitch bot, which I took the code from Doug's website and like adjusted it and so forth to make it like control absolutely anything on my PC. And then I decided to I just throw that all away and decided to learn Python and also utilize AI since I don't know Python in order to like fix errors, edit it, and even add things that I didn't understand how to add, and then whatnot. And I've spent about total recently, like 200 plus hours making things and editing things and learning things and reading up, and it we're talking like ridiculous. In the last let's just say 3 or 4 weeks, there have been several times that I've been up for 3 to 4 days straight, and that's because of my new meds, and I haven't been able to quite adapt to them quite yet, but I'm working on it. I am starting to try get sleep on at least some every night now, so I'm adapting to that. But what I wanted to show was some of the stuff that I had been doing. So I let's just, slap up these here. These are just the background windows of the command prompts of the bots running, but the bots each have its own GUI interface. Um and I've made it do all sorts of things. Like here, I have a chat bot that I create, and all these have been created from like literally from the ground up, no using of anyone else's existing code and otherwise. And I've been using various AIs to, as I said, learn Python and learn how to like add things and so forth. And if I didn't understand it, it would help me create it from scratch, so that way I could work on it from there. Nothing is like fully just copy paste AI code, because that would defeat the whole purpose of having fun with this. And plus, it probably would have taken like, I don't know, a tenth of the time to do if I just told it to make it for me. So what we have here is that this is a Twitch chat bot, which you can have additional channels added onto it because I made it so it's multifaceted. And so what it does is it checks to see if they're live, and if they're live, it starts like this interval threshold of it waits 5 minutes before waiting 17 minutes before it starts sending its main message, and then also has the ability to recognize commands as it reads messages. And so if someone said Discord, it'd give the Discord information, TikTok, Etsy, so forth. And I set that up for the lovely fairy because I just wanted to help her out in the best way I can, and plus it's just one of the things that I did. And then we have this one here, which was originally designed as a ban bot, but it serves absolutely no purpose now, because the auto mod detection of certain words and the fact that the bots that this was designed to ban no longer use the method that this does. But this was like my first creation here, was just like this Twitch chat monitor. It just monitored chat. It would detect if something was said. It would open up a tab for the chat, and then it would type in /ban space whoever did the banning offense, and then it would minimize it again. So this thing literally has no purpose anymore. But the latest thing that I've been working on the most has been the Twitch controller bot. And this bot has been encompassing things that I've been wanting to have capable of doing for like for like ever, because all the things here I am making for future uses or other uses for other bots and otherwise, all consolidated into one, just because I wanted to do that. And not everything, I mean, everything is fully functional. This is video is being made after I have tested like every single feature, and this thing is now fully functional with these 5 things. It originally started with the main, which just read it, connected to Twitch, and started processing chat, so it reads the chat when something happens. So that way this bot could technically, since this part of the main bot would allow me to add in, like if I added the chat bot script to it, if I used any of the other scripts like the ban bot, everything, this is completely like modular of what I've managed to put together here. And then we've got the login, which then does the login, the OAuth token, all of that kind of stuff. This is kind of almost redundant because it does it in the last page, but this allows for other settings to add bots to other kinds of um, bots that are or tabs that are in the thing. And so right now this doesn't have a purpose anymore, but this was part of what was put in there. And then next is the controller bot, which the controller bot a lot of you have already seen um and played with when it comes to the live streams and the Twitch Let's Plays that I've been playing. And the reason for it is that it makes it since you can't have your chat recognize commands and send the actual controller commands. Apparently Windows doesn't let you do that. I found a workaround by utilizing VJoy. And so what happens is that when chat speaks and it takes the command, it turns around and sends the VJoy command. So that way people can I can set this up here. We go boink, boink, and Twitch. And I can do this while offline too, because if you didn't know, you can actually access people's chats and your own chat without actually being live streaming. So I'm not live streaming right now, but I got access to the chat from where I was like testing and stuff. And so if I type in exclamation point down and send, it would normally send the command down to the bot, which I'm not sure why it didn't. It might be because I wasn't fully connected. Let's try this again. Maybe I have something I do need to fix again. Down or wait, detect input changes. There's some like hiccups and stuff that are not like the bot based, but otherwise, whoops, going back. If I knew how to operate my own phone, I'd like tested all of this beforehand. So down, send. Okay, so that was me using this. And what this is doing is this is detecting the Super Nintendo controller connected. And when I push these buttons, it's actually sending VJoy commands. So that way both chat and myself can both use VJoy commands at the same time. I'm not sure why it's not connecting or reading the chat for it. Because if I go over here, it says, oh, error in command executor. Has no attribute send chat command. Okay, that looks like there's something I need to fix. That's why it wasn't sending down. My bad. I broke something while fixing other things. But that's something I have working versions of that I can just, turn around and edit and fix and whatnot. But you get the idea because you play. Some of you have played the live streams that was the Twitch plays, and some of you did the other one where you messed with me while I was doing like a randomizer. But moving on from that, next I have the media player, which with the media player I made it so it connects and you can just like you put in the location of VLC, start VLC, it will pop up and then you can put whatever playlist you want in there. And then what that allows is that people can do play, next, previous, stop, which technically you can just hit play twice and it will play and pause. Next, previous, all that kind of stuff, and switch between the tracks that are playing for like the randomizer and so forth. The reason why I set this up is so that way, if there was like additional programs that I needed to run in order for things to happen, that this could actually be set up to run those programs in order to, um, do those things. So that was what that is. But I just set it up for the simply for the media player, just so I could, you know, have that go. And some of you had fun playing with that, especially Link, who was like, "Oh, I didn't hear what happened, so let's go next," and then previous, just so we could replay the song. Since I didn't add a rewind button to this, which I probably won't. Next is the thing that I did the most recently, which was like, as I said, minutes before making this video. And what we've got is chat redemption detection. So Refresh Rewards gets the rewards for my channel. This is actually something a little more difficult to set up that I didn't realize that there were some things that I had no idea. But now, like, so in here, because I know it works, I've set it to go like if I go and hit save state.
I am saving the state.
The meow was from sound alerts because that's how I originally was setting it up, but I'm gonna, change it from there. That's why you probably heard the meow, and then you heard I am saving the state, which is just an audio file that I did for that. And so if I go over there and then we scroll down and go load state.
I am loading the state.
and it loads the state. That way it can send commands to my PC in through like there in order to be able to save state, load state, and I'm going to set it up to do like the refresh tracker on the other thing. The primary reason I designed this was not for the hotkey aspect. That was just for me. It's for being able to set it up for audio files to play for when people end up you know how people end up having like, you know, the hydrate and stretch kind of things where you can have it play audio files and whatnot in order to make more of a um uh uh you know, a verbal thing. Like example, I primarily did it for Athena's stream because she gets really into her zone, and she could set it up so that way people could do rewards to remind her to, like, you know, hydrate or otherwise, and it will play an audio file that, you know, she selects. And so it'd be like hydrate, or, you know, chat person redeemed hydrate, and, you know, it just for that purpose. And then you can map the keys, and then you can run the test itself, like,
I am loading the state.
yeah. And it doesn't play the other audio file because it's not actually sending the alert. But that's what I've been working on all this time for a great many hours, and why I've really not uploaded anything to YouTube and been kind of lax on things is because, as I said, I've been losing my mind medication wise. I haven't gotten a refill on my uh ignore that sound, on my antidepressants in quite a while because they changed my prescriber, and it's been more difficult to try and get that. And I've been trying to adapt to this new med, which is like, some of you may know, is the same kind that Markiplier's on, which this is actually, I know it's doing good, but it's also doing bad at the same time, namely with the sleep aspect. But things that I'm fighting with. And primarily, in short, as a lot of you know, is I have never liked my life because every time I've tried to progress in any way, shape, or form, financially and otherwise, something always ends up knocking me back. And there have been people out there, like the anonymous donor who did the $1,500 and helped me fix my pipes and water heater and whatnot, and get me back on that and whatnot. I always get put back into my status quo. I can't progress higher than that. I've tried. It always gets knocked down by some one reason or another. But that's just kind of how things have been going. And I'm honestly, I promise you, I'm doing my best, and I will keep trying to do my best because it's literally the only thing I can really do. But that hopefully gives you guys a complete update of what's going on at the moment. And if you have any ideas for like bots for me to make, I am more than willing to try and do that, because I also made another bot for another YouTuber who wanted a bot that removes comments from any account that posts that's under 90 days old. And I managed to get that one done too. That one I didn't show you because that one is like his request, not one of my, you know, projects here. So I just want to, you know, just show off the stuff here. As you can see, I still have issues in regards to like making things the right size and otherwise, but at least it's mostly functional, as I now need to go and fix the controller sending aspect. But I thank you all for supporting me and being around. I appreciate it a lot. If you know, I really appreciate it. I really do. So I thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next stream, which I hope was today, but I still haven't gotten my Walmart delivery for my frozen food and stuff because my car's alternator doesn't work, and so I can't really get it started. Uh, but that's neither here nor there. Ignore the last part. Um, and so that's why I haven't what didn't stream today. So I just continued working on this. But I thank you all for hanging out. I will catch you all later. Make sure that you hop into the Discord and say hi and keep in touch. Keep me active. Keep my brain busy. And again, as I said, if you have any ideas for like stuff, whether it be like short games to play, and when I mean short games to play, I mean if you have ideas for short games like half an hour, maybe up to 2 hours in one sitting that I could do a recording on, that'd be great, because I have a limit on how much, you know, output I can do really for the most part, especially on new things. Or if you have ideas for bots, if you just have ideas in general, you want to help out, just, you know, hop on the Discord, let me know. Let a mod know if you can't get a hold of me, but generally I'm always sitting in front of my PC, and I will catch you all later. Toodles unto you all.